welcome Kadena fam. Today I am joined by Matthew, who is also the founder of the Kawaii K-9s, which are actually coming out pretty soon. So I'm very excited to learn more about the project. So welcome, Matthew. What's up?
Hey, well, I'm just happy I could be here. Thanks for the invite. And I'm sorry, Christina, is, from our bio, we're a husband and wife team. Christina does all of the artwork, but she couldn't make it this morning because with her wisdom tooth removal yesterday, having all of that and having some stitches in and everything, she's not able to join us, but I'll be here to represent.
Well, I remember my time when I got my wisdom tooth or teeth pulled out, the last one, when he gave me these shots, it just didn't do anything. So after the fifth, they just held me down and pulled the tooth out. So I know it isn't that great, but I have to go out.
It kind of happened for me the same way. I actually had mine removed on a Navy ship, a U.S. Navy ship, a long time ago. But they ended up removing 3 at the same time, and they were just shooting me with all sorts of shots and then cutting them out one by one.
Yep. You are about to launch, and you did already have some spaces with the Kadena Project Network and some other spaces. And I've been on your website, and there are some different types of collections. So why did you tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto, or then to make those NFTs, and now you're on Kadena?
Right. Well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to condense it down to the shortest way possible. My brother-in-law is a doctor in the US, and he has dabbled in crypto. He's done mining for years, Bitcoin and different
Awesome.
types of coins. And we were in the States back in the mainland. And because Christina and I, we run a Christian mission overseas. We actually was actually part of the reason why we're out here right now. Because of COVID, we've kind of been locked out because of some lockdowns and stuff, but hopefully that will be over soon and we'll be able to get back in because we have a lot of different things that we do in real life. But we were looking to raise more funds for what we do in real life, which I guess some people would consider charity work of some sort because we do a lot of stuff like that. Which if people are interested in the in real life stuff we do, they can DM me and I'll send them some of our information. But we were trying to find a way where we could raise support for the work we do, just our own selves directly, instead of always having to find other people to make donations. What could we do? And Christina has always done art. And so a couple of years ago, some friends of ours had given us a MacBook Pro and an iPad Pro, and Christina just started just doing some drawings. And my brother-in-law suggested getting into NFTs. Well, we started out over on Ethereum because, of course, that's currently kind of the biggest area for NFTs. And we just went ahead and launched the Bull Run Bulldog collection, which we went ahead and minted the collection and put it on. So it's on OpenSea, Looks Rare, all of those kind of sites. And we mostly have been using those as giveaways, trying to get a little bit of traction for our own collections that we were trying to get into doing and creating as time went on. Currently on Ethereum, we have an Angel Doggos collection, which is a collection of 100 NFTs that are based on pets that both Christina and I had growing up over the years in third world countries. The main character of that collection is a dog named Pearl, which was Christina's dog when she was growing up in Sri Lanka. And due to a due to a war, civil war in that country, and different things that were happening at that time, she and her family had to evacuate that country. And during the evacuation, she was trying to find somewhere to leave her dog behind, and the dog ended up being killed in front of her. And so that left a mark or a traumatic experience, on her. And so when she was getting into drawing, she did some drawings of different dogs that I've had, My dad had a dog that he had had for many years that he had to put down for cancer. So she did a drawing for him. She did one for Pearl, and we really liked them. And so we decided, well, let's see if we can make a small NFT collection to basically let the utility be, if you purchase one of our NFTs, we'll make a personalized or customized NFT for you based on your own pet, one that's alive, one that's, you've lost. And so we did that, and that's going pretty well. We've been doing that for about a month, and we've sold about one a week. Still kind of getting some traction, because those were a little bit more, they started out a little bit more expensive at 0.1 Ethereum. We've since lowered down the price a little, but we wanted to get into Kadena because we wanted to be one of the earlier projects over here, because we wanted to bring something kind of fun to the environment, to the chain, something that might be a little bit easier for us to promote in Kadena, because with Ethereum, as we all know, it's so saturated right now with fake projects. I mean, even me on just our own small project on OpenSea, I've already had to report accounts that have been, basically just stealing our stuff and selling it as their own. Just recently, it took me like a week to get OpenSea to respond to taking down this one account that had just taken different bits and pieces of different projects that we've made and combining them into one new account and was trying to sell them on Solana. So we just I kind of since the beginning had wanted to steer clear of OpenSea and all of that and just go to, something new. So I had actually been talking to the Mintit crew. Oh, it's been months now. I remember the first time I had contacted them, and I had said, well, I just asked them, when do you think Mintit will be available? And they had told me in the fourth quarter. So Christina just started doing some layering. We thought of the idea of the Kawaii K-9s. You can kind of tell that there's some similar traits to another NFT collection we've already done, the Bull Run Bulldogs. There's a few things that are similar, but they're also different. We had a bunch of different plans that we were trying to think of, but we thought, well, the Kawaii K-9s is something that is fun. It's different. Christina herself is part Japanese. So, in Japan, the Japanese word for cute is kawaii. So we were thinking, well, what can we do that might bring a little bit of fun? And then, of course, we were trying to think of utility. And so we had another back burner project that we were working on, which is the Pitbull Bushido collection, which is going to be a set of samurai themed pit bulls, basically, where they're samurai body, but a pit bull's head. And that collection we're wanting to develop into possibly a card game, like an actual physical card game, but I'm not an expert in card games or trading cards or such. So for now, all I can say is that we are developing and will hopefully be printing some physical trading cards or character cards, where they'll have a picture of the NFT on the front, and then on the back some information or something special about them, some traits or something based on the 7 virtues of Bushido. And we are wanting to make that collection be 47 characters, but multiples of each. So on mint date, it would be a blind mint. Everybody can mint up to 50. And then they would have to, after the reveal, trade with one another, hopefully once there's a trading platform available to where they can trade to complete their full set of the 47 samurai. And then once the first person once a person completes their full set of samurai, they would then I would mail them the physical set of character cards. We're also planning to do it in stages, where if you collect a certain theme of samurai, a certain collection or a certain virtue based on the 7 virtues of Bushido, you would either receive a free t-shirt or coffee mug, you name it. Just like we're working on that now. We're trying to find some partnerships, but all of that, of course, would take money as usual with everything. So you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
So we thought, well, if we do the Kawaii K-9s as a set of 1,500, and we keep the price low so that hopefully we can sell out. If we make in the end around when I subtract out all of the airdrops that I'm going to be doing and all of the rewards, if we make about 7,000 KDA, that's more than enough to
Yep.
cover everything that we have planned. So that's kind of like as short as I can make it, the reason we got into crypto, and then kind of
Mm-hmm.
our overarching plan of where we're headed. We do have a lot of things that we want to do, a lot of things that we would love to build on.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Kawaii K-9s, this will be our Genesis collection, if you will, I guess, for Kadena. And hopefully, if it goes well, we are going to be we'll be around. We're not planning on running away as soon as this is over. We're planning on sticking around and doing the best that we can.
Hope so.
And we're not miners. Like, hey, I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the NFTs, they've got mining, and I love all those projects. We're not going to have any type of utility like that. We're more of just a fun project. I would say PFP project, I guess, but we do want some in real life stuff,
Mm-hmm.
prizes, stuff that you could win through the collection. And we're trying to keep it low in price so that everybody has a chance to participate.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that slowly more and more projects are also coming into Kadena with not only maybe a DeFi mindset or a direct crypto mindset. People like you who are coming out of the crypto space and getting now into NFTs, making those Kawaii K-9s, and also, like you said, then maybe doing the card game, which I actually also think is a really great idea. And yeah, sounds
I
awesome.
went to a I forget what it's called here. It's like a geek out, where
Mm-hmm.
you go to the store. I don't know if they have those where you live, but it's where you go and they have all the anime stuff, which I play video games just as much as anybody else, and so I was there, and I walked over, and I remember years ago, a cousin of mine had sent me in the mail, and this was a long time ago, a set of Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember till this day that I had some very valuable ones in that pack. But
What did you do with
unfortunately,
them?
but unfortunately, I I I don't even remember what happened to them, but in the course of all the years of moving and traveling, I
Mm,
lost them. And then I was like, man, if I still had those cards, like I'd have lots of money.
yep.
But then I was like, well, Pokemon cards, I know they're popular. So I went down to this geek out, and I was talking to some guys that were there doing trading cards and talking about it. And these guys, like, they know their stuff. And so I was trying to, pick their brains for some ideas for how it could work. I can't say too much because we do have, I would say, 85% of the artwork done for the samurai.
Mm-hmm.
The sketch work is all done. It's just the coloring, and then of course the layering. I'm already in contact with a company to make the cards, and we're wanting to make them holographic. So it's a little difficult because you're having to take the layers and you're having to find the layers that you want to be holographic, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to do all of that. So for now, character cards. The first set of characters would be the samurai. We do have plans for new factions, if you will, that will add to that.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say too much because I know anybody's stealing our idea, but we have some ideas. We do have some ideas about different factions, and then
Okay.
once we can figure that out, then we'll keep that moving.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what is your first plan after maybe minting out?
What I can say right now is I was able to get enough KDA together to go ahead, and today, my plan is today. It's like I said, it's almost 6 a.m. here right now, but today my plan is to airdrop KDA to each wallet that has a free mint. with the Kawaii K-9s collection. So each person would receive 5 KDA on already on chain 8. I already have it on the correct chain and ready to
Okay.
go. So that way the free minters really don't have to do anything. I mean, of course, they'll need a little bit of dust in there themselves to cover any gas fees or whatever, but
Oh
I'm just
no.
sending 5 KDA on chain 8 to each person of the people that have the free mint. The second thing that I would do if we do mint out is I'm wanting to for the whitelisters. Now there are some people that have been with us since the beginning, and our original plan was to have a whitelist price of 5 KDA, a public price of 7, and the collection was only 1,000. And after talking to a few people, we actually increased the collection size to 1,500 because we had enough layers to do that. We had enough to be able to do that and
How
have
many traits?
traits. Yeah, for traits, there are 23 one of ones. So as an example, one of the first things that we do if we mint out with some of the Kadena is there are going to be bounties for the one of ones. Not each one yet, but certain ones of the one of ones. The other one of ones that are just special ones, I'm hoping will have a resale value. So if somebody mints them, they should be able to resell them at a higher price. But as an example, Mr. Moneybags, one of the NFTs, he will come with a 50 KDA bounty. The Docu Shield, there's a Docu Shield character that one will come with a it's $50 in the Doc token. There is a Jody Inu character as well. That person, I believe, will receive 1 million Jody coin. There is a Corona Inu character, and they're sponsoring a $20 Corona Inu airdrop as well for the person that finds that one. I might add some of that too because I have some Corona Inu myself, just to, you know. You know, it's just trying to spice it up a little. And we're wanting to add to that. One of the things that we also have, one of the one-on-ones is a KMC mining club Easter egg NFT. I have something special planned for that one.
Okay.
But it depends on the launch. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say. If I make enough KDA at launch, there is something I'm going to do for the person that mints that one. I'm planning on trying to airdrop them a KMC mining NFT as the reward, but there again, we'll just keep that.
So we'll have to mint out. So
we'll have to mint out, because if we do, the first thing I'm planning to do is to buy the KMC Mining Club NFT, because I had some, but unfortunately I had to sell them because I needed the money to be able to
I feel you.
do this, you know, because I can't, out of my own personal money. Honestly, I just didn't have the money. It's with the cost of rent, how, you know, utilities, everything for us has gone up astronomically. So because of that, I'm having to only use money that I have. And so actually it kind of works out, because I actually won $100 in Ethereum a few days ago. And so I converted that to every time I win Ethereum, I convert it. I just take it to the exchange. I convert it and then I send it to my X wallet. So I have,
you better be exchanging it to some KDA.
That's where I have the Kadena to give the free mint money, the 5 KDA to each of the free minters. So that's perfect. Thank you. Thank the Lord. Because now I have the money free. So I'm trying to do it so I'm not taking any of my own personal money, because I just don't have that ability. But that's why if the mint goes well, we're gonna increase the bounties, increase the rewards. As far as whitelisters, I want to give each person who has the whitelist 5 KDA. And I should be able to do that, but I can't hold myself to that just yet, because that would require us to sell out. I think the other thing that I can do is I can offer a refund. So if a whitelist wallet purchases one, I'll just send them their KDA back. That's a little overly complicated for some people. So and they may not you know, I understand people get burned all the time. They may not trust me enough. I'm very honest. I try to do my best to keep everybody happy. But but I know that some of the whitelisters would be like, well, my whitelist isn't worth anything because you changed it to a fair launch. And I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, but it'll earn
but
you a
yeah,
free mint now,
yep.
potentially. So we're trying to do what we can.
Well, what if the mint doesn't go as planned and maybe takes longer to mint out?
I think we do have time because
Definitely, yeah.
we're wanting to make the Pitbull Bushido collection special. So we do have time. Christina and I actually are going to be flying to some other islands
Mm,
on in November in just a few weeks. So we're we will, of course, down at the end of the year is kind of our busiest time because we have a lot of things that we do in real life through November and December. But we're still going to be doing this. We're still going to be working on the artwork on Twitter and everything, trying to build the community.
mm,
But I had originally thought we would be shooting for this time to do
mm,
the Pitbull Bushido, but we decided to switch and do the Kawaii K-9s first and let this be our first collection to get us into what we're wanting to develop into a series of NFTs. So the Pitbull Bushido would be collection one. There will be different Japanese inspired character groups
mm,
that will come after that. So we're if we don't mint out, we're also here just to have fun. So
we've
as
got
long as we
time.
can, it'll just take longer. So
Yep,
in other
yep.
words, if we mint out, boom, yeah, sure, mint out. We'll be able to do things faster.
Yeah.
But if we don't, we'll do things, but it'll just be a little slower. So maybe it wouldn't be until later on next year instead of
Mm.
like say the spring or the summer.
Question again, how was the onboarding process from Ethereum to Kadena, as Kadena NFTs are still early and minted is the first step into, yeah, creating NFTs easily. So how is it?
Um, the in Ethereum, as most people I think who are listening will know, because I know most people have been trying to do NFTs for the past year. In Ethereum, it's if you are making NFTs and trying to sell them, it's pretty difficult because you can't get any traction unless you have money for advertising or for building your community. You don't really have a way to get the word out.
Mm,
Same thing with crypto.com. We have a crypto.com NFT creator account as well, but I quickly realized that I would need to spend more time than I have to try to get myself into that arena to get enough
mm,
eyes on the project. So currently with Ethereum, as an example, on uh, our Angel Doggos collection, I'm
mm,
actually using Nifty Kit, which I'm seeing that Mintit's platform idea behind their platform is very similar to Nifty Kits in that you have to have a creator's pass. The same thing with them.
mm,
So I had a creator's pass with them, and you can just upload your artwork and your data, type it all in, and then sell them
mm,
from your drop site. So with Ethereum over there, like there are ways to do it, but it costs you to do it in an easy way. If you're trying to do it for cheap or for free, it's not the easiest thing to do.
mm,
So I've used Nifty Kit for all of our Ethereum NFTs. The Bull Run Bulldogs, as an example, I use Nifty Kit to make the contract and everything. So when I minted them, there were 1,250, and I only paid like it wasn't very much at all, and I airdropped them to myself. So then that's how they showed up on OpenSea with the
uh,
traits and everything listed. So with Ethereum, it is easy, but it costs you. It costs
yep.
you in gas fees. It costs you in time. It costs you in that you're already dealing in an area where there's an oversaturation of projects. I would say a lot of which, if not most of which, are all rug pulls. So you're
Scams.
you're
Yep,
dealing with
definitely.
like this, you're
Uh-huh.
dealing with,
Uh-huh.
you invested in something and then all of a sudden you're like, man, dang it, I shouldn't have spent that
Yep.
money on that thing. So we decided to come over here to Kadena because, as an example, there was this kid on one of the spaces in Twitter that wanted one of our NFTs from the Bull Run Bulldogs collection. And like I
Mm,
said, I give those away constantly for free. And just, basically using them as advertising, airdrops, gifts.
mm.
And I went to go airdrop him from my MetaMask
The
one of our
fees.
NFTs. 220
Yep.
something dollars in gas
Unbelievable,
fees.
right?
And I just said, forget this. Forget about this. I can't. This
Yep.
is the NFT. If somebody bought it, they would only pay me like $12. And
Yep.
now they're wanting me to pay them 200 and something dollars in gas fees.
Mm,
So I've been really looking forward to minting on
mm,
Kadena for quite a while. And that's actually how we ended up being one of the earlier projects, because
mm.
I've been bugging them on Twitter for like forever.
Yeah,
Like,
and
when's it going to be? When is it going to be? Is it now? Are you ready? Is it going to be when? A few more weeks?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Then just like, because I've been, and so that's how we ended up being, uh, just, early, I
Uh-huh.
guess. Just because we were hanging around, we were just standing around waiting for Kadena and minted. And so I would say our experience in Ethereum has been both good and bad.
Mm,
Expensive. It really depends on your contract. I will say that if somebody is wanting to sell NFTs on Ethereum, I highly recommend you looking into Nifty Kit for that area, because they do the smart contracts. It is pretty straightforward and it is a little bit cheaper. It saves you, as an example, with Angel Doggos, when I airdrop the custom NFT back to someone, the
mm.
gas fees are very low
Yep.
because of the contract. And so I think like yesterday I airdropped this one to somebody and it was like $2 or $3. So not bad. But we're really looking forward into getting into Kadena because we want to be part of a community that's still growing and still
Mm,
new and still early. And hopefully we can be one that, while we're not bringing anything massive to the ecosystem, we can try to bring some of the fun projects that you see in other areas, but
mm.
instead of putting this into, yet another Ethereum project, instead bringing it over to Kadena, because, why not have some fun projects over here too? So that's kind
Definitely.
of the plan.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think it is very important to have those projects coming onto Kadena to acknowledge the technology, because
Mhm.
I mean, Ethereum onboarding or creating NFTs is maybe easier because the NFT boom for Ethereum already happened, right? And
Yeah.
right now we are at the same early stage on Kadena, just with the better technology and
Mhm.
this is what,
I will say, yeah, it's easier, but it costs you.
yeah.
So, as an example, I was trying to help this one guy. He had a collection of like so many thousand
Mm,
NFTs, and he was asking for some help in getting them onto Ethereum.
mm,
And I think some were Ethereum, some were Polygon. And in the end, I just told him, like, as I said, there's just no way you can do this without paying uh, for subscriptions,
mm,
because if you're going to do this one by one, it's going to take you forever. But if you want to drop them quickly, you would have to have a Pinata
yep,
account,
yep,
and you would have to, and that's expensive if you have a lot of files.
mm,
That adds up quickly. You would have to have the Nifty Kit. I would recommend them, but even theirs, like, you'd have to mint that for,
mm.
I don't even remember how much. thankfully I got mine as I inherited mine, and then I won a second one. So I lucked out with them. But with them, like, you'd have to pay as well.
Uh,
And so you would need to be able to do a collection with over there. I would say you would need nothing less than about $400 to start.
mm,
And that shuts out a lot of people, especially nowadays. And we all know that artists are usually the ones struggling anyway, even in
yeah.
a good market. And so, who's going to have $400?
Yeah, yeah,
But
right, right.
with Kadena, I mean, it's I think it was 150 KDA for the Creators Pass,
Credit, yeah, right.
and and hopefully our launch goes well. Like I said, I'm still kind of waiting to hear back about the metadata, so fingers crossed
Mm.
there that everything goes well. But so far so good, and it seems to be a lot better. And we 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 looking at this and talking about it with other people who know more about crypto than I do.
Mm.
Of course, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but there I see a lot of potential and in the future. And so
Definitely.
it's better to go ahead and acknowledge that. And then instead of always arguing about like which is better, we'll go ahead and prove which is better by using it, just doing it. It's
Mm.
better to go ahead and just if you have the ability, just do it. And so instead of just kind of him hawing around and going, well, maybe not. Well, I think so. I think it's good. I'd say just go for it.
Yep,
You
yep.
take a chance and see how it goes. And as far as the collection, like, yeah, I do need the money to launch into these other things that we're doing. But everything else, anything that I can save, because we're wanting to make everything the best we can. Like, we're
Mm.
wanting to make everything good quality, like the cards, everything. Like, when I'm going to and I'm contacting these companies, like, I'm selecting the best quality of everything. But even so, I'm anything that I can save, I'm going to save and hold on to
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the bull run, because
yeah.
if I can hold a few thousand or several thousand coins. My personal hope is my first goal is to hold 10,000 KDA. If I can hit that, then I'm fine. Like,
Yeah,
we'll still be, everything from then on is
uh-huh.
just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I also always have a goal of KD I want to hold, but I always end up buying NFTs. So, uh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
it's it's
see,
getting
that's
crazy.
why for us, I understand that, and see, I'm
Uh-huh.
in the same boat, and I know, like, I know that a lot of projects, like, I bought is it the Babina? I think that was the kitten,
The kitty
not the
cats.
kitty cat, but the other ones. I bought one of those,
The
and
Babinas. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the Babina.
Yep.
And I bought one of those, and then I've bought a whole lot of the Lazy Apes over time, because I've been giving those away as
Hmm.
rewards. What was really sad was I had my favorite one
Hmm.
was one particular one. I had a halo and a blue hoodie and everything, and I loved that one.
Hmm.
But um, I ended up having to give that one away because of reasons. And then I saw it on the floor of arcade, so I bought it back. So I bought it back. So it's back where it belongs. It's back with me.
Yeah, awesome.
But
How much did you pay?
I think it was 13 KDA, and I had originally bought it for like 30. I think it was. So
Uh-huh.
I bought it because I liked it. So I
Mm.
was like, then I saw it for 13. I bought it back. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll buy it back. But I've tried to get at least one of every
Hmm.
thing that comes out, because you don't know, something might shake loose. But
Yep.
that being said, it's a little difficult when every project is 25,
Yeah,
30,
definitely. Yep, yep.
whatever KDA. So that's part of the reason why we even brought it down from 7 KDA for
Hmm.
public to just fair launch at 5, because I really want, I mean, if you get one or if you get 50,
5. Yeah, yep.
I don't care. Yeah, I just want it to be, as low as, so basically you can get 5 for the price of, certain other ones.
Mm.
Uh, just because I do believe that it's a possible, because it is early, and I do have faith. I do believe that Minted will be a strong, contender in the
Yep.
space. I believe that being a first week launch project, in the future, they probably would be able to have some resale value as well, hopefully. So at 5 KDA, if you get a few of them, and eventually you can, exchange them, or even just think about it like this: they're 5 KDA now, but that's like $7.50, $8,
Yeah.
something like that. If KDA goes up in value,
Will bring all up, yeah.
versus, there they go up in value too. So that's the hope anyway. But just we've enjoyed being over here in Kadena, because we enjoy the ecosystem, the people, and we're trying to do our best to avoid all the negative stuff and all the, like, I know there's a lot of back and forth and there's a lot of arguments, and I myself have my irritations with a few different groups, but I mean, I will say that I have been the part of a few IDOs that I might have I might reconsider if I
We've
could go
all
back
been
in
there,
time.
I guess. I guess
I
we've
might
all been
possibly
there.
reconsider, but even so, I'm just holding. I haven't sold anything that I've picked up along the way, just because I do believe that eventually, once things turn around, everything will improve.
Definitely.
But we're just glad to be here.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I've been also stacking up some OG NFTs, and this was my goal, to get NFTs from all those OG collections. And I mean, now that Minted is opening us such amazing opportunities, I think there's gonna come a lot of projects, a lot of people, but not only from the Minted side. I mean, we see so many other stuff happening with more dexes, wallets are coming out. I don't know, like, things are moving very fast here, and I've been saying it, I think, also 2 months ago, guys, just give it a little bit time. You'll see big changes coming like every month. And if you just imagine in 3 months from now how things are gonna look, I mean, it's gonna be like 50 or 100 or 200 more project stuff coming out. So I also really enjoy this space here, and I am more than happy to be here.
It's good to be. I mean, I think with Kadena, of course, we haven't seen the influx of people yet from Ethereum and other thing after their merge and other things. I think a lot of people were duped to think that after the merge, gas fees were going to drop, and they have not.
Yeah.
There was a slight change in gas fee prices, and like but it's not going to stick around. So I think once people realize that, they'll all be trying to find something new. And then I think once the markets turn around a little bit, like, of course, I know everybody's hurting for money right now. Nobody has extra money. And I, of all people, understand that totally. So that's kind of part of the reason why we, instead of coming in and being like, we have 1,500 NFTs and each one's going to be, 30 KDA, I'm coming in and saying I have 1,500 NFTs, and if I could, I would sell them all for 2 KDA. But based on my math, I'm going to need to have at least 5 KDA each to be able to cover the things that we want to do, and then also be able to invest into the future projects. So that's why we kept it as low as we possibly could. I think it's one of the cheapest NFT projects right now available.
Yep.
Compared to others. And we're
it's
trying
very unique.
We're trying to keep it so that everybody could get one, even the bots on Twitter could get one if they wanted one.
I mean they are always gonna get one. At least
you have wonderful art. Why don't you pay us to promote it?
Promote it on our website with a little check mark.
DM us on Instagram. You have wonderful artworks. No,
No, I mean, bots are getting crazy on Twitter. I mean, as soon as I click on one, I made that mistake, and like 50,
Now you got
50 more
50
bots. Yeah.
or 500. Yeah, my bots, they love me. They always comment. I have to say I like my little loyal army of bots on Twitter. They
They're
always comment.
motivating me.
They make you feel good about yourself. But Instagram is interesting though, because Instagram, in my opinion, is worse because you're constantly dealing with, not only you're dealing with DMs over there, and they don't get weeded out. At least on Twitter, like you have to dig to find your direct messages. Basically, on Instagram, it's like constant. You're just getting DMs constantly from these spam accounts, and it's a lot more irritating. On however, I will say on Instagram, it is easier to get somebody's attention. So there was, as an example, one of our NFTs from our earlier collection had a face mask and was holding a plunger, and the background was green. I think we call it the swamp, you know, whatever background. And so he's standing there holding a plunger. And so I tweeted, or I put on Instagram rather, at you know, Poopery, the toilet spray. And I just said, you know, when you have that one co-worker that's, you know, stinks up the bathroom, you know, at work, and you know, they leave it for you to deal with or whatever. Well, Poopery responded, and I was like, huh. And then we've had like Nespresso, you know, the coffee company. They responded to one of our things about coffee, you know. So, and that was all on Instagram. So I will say Instagram is a little bit, if you're trying to get a bigger account's attention, it's a little bit easier. But man, there's a lot of bots over there too. So
I don't use Instagram anymore, but I know that in their DMs, I mean, it's always crazy.
Oh yeah,
it is.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, like for us, like I wouldn't use Facebook or Instagram. We do have to use it for our IRL stuff, because that's where most people, especially in the States, are. And it's easier for us to do that. Like you can have a website, nobody's ever going to click on it. So, but if you have a Facebook, pretty much everybody over 50 is on Facebook. So that's your demographic that you have to promote to anyway. But it's better for us to use that platform over there. But with Twitter, we try to keep our two worlds separate. What we do in real life and then what we're doing with crypto, because as of right now, we're just considering this a hobby, if you will, or a side project. Yeah, we consider it work to a certain extent, but it's more of what we do for fun, an outlet, if you will. And it's been good, because, you know, with the life that we live in real life, we're always busy. We have a lot of different things going on. We also run radio stations out in the islands, which at times are the only radio stations that are running 24/7. So we have a lot of programming that we do, a lot of scheduling, a lot of, you know, just life in general in a third world country that you are busy with constantly doing different things. But it is nice to have a different world, you know, a crypto world or something online where you can try to build relationships and friendships and have something different to do, you know, other than just playing video games. Because it's either, if I wasn't sitting here doing this, I'd probably be in Warzone getting killed again, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely like being here and learning all that.
Yeah, I'd rather make money than, you know, buying another expansion pack.
Yeah. I mean, this is why we are all here. I mean, let's build some shit. And
yeah,
I don't know, crypto is it's so much fun being it's a complete different world than anything else we are getting into. So
yeah. Well, I can say this, short of some disappointing investments that I made in a few, you know, launches, I actually so far have not lost money in crypto, because I have tried to only use I've tried to make some investments that were smart, and I try to really be careful before I do something. The only money that I've technically lost is not even really my money. It was just some money that I had made elsewhere, and I moved over to this, and then I I was like, well, I don't have that anymore. But I've
Uh,
tried to make sure that I don't put anything personal in, just because I'm trying to turn this around. Personally, on a more personal level, my wife and I, we've been married now for a little over 2 years, but for the first 2 years, well, basically, we got married in July, and in August, August 4th is our birthday. We had gone to stay at this other place. We were still waiting to go back to the islands, but because of COVID, the whole this was in the middle of all the lockdown
mm,
in 2020. And as soon as we had moved, because we were in California and in Texas, so dry desert, because we were in California and then we were in Southern California and then we were in El Paso, Texas, so just complete dry desert. We moved to the East Coast and she started having allergies because she had always had tonsil problem.
mm,
Within the first week of us being married, she was having to go to the emergency room for her tonsils. She ended up having to have tonsil surgery. And unfortunately, she didn't have insurance.
mm,
And I hadn't been able to get her insurance yet. And
damn.
we had just got married. So I thought I had had some time. But as it turned out, she ended up having to have a tonsillectomy, her tonsils and adenoids removed without insurance.
Wow.
And then a week after her surgery, she started bleeding, and we had to go to the emergency room,
Mm.
and that was also without insurance.
How much was
And she
that?
had to take, and then that hospital wanted to take her by ambulance to another hospital, also without insurance. And so we racked up a lot of bills. And then but thank God we were able to pay that down with help from some friends.
Mm.
But we still have residual debts from that. There's a few other things that we did over time. Of course, just recently her wisdom teeth for some reason came in.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her mid-20s, but unfortunately her parents growing up, they never really took care of anything, so she should have had these out when she was 17, 18, but that never happened. And so here we are all these years later needing to take care of it. And so we've had a lot of difficult things in
Mm-hmm.
personal life, expenses and stuff. And so that has taken a toll on us financially. And so we were thinking, well, what can we do to try to help our own selves,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to have savings, but I don't have savings anymore.
Yeah,
And
we all
in
have.
today's market, I had some stocks, I sold everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but I've never been one to dabble in the stock market. I just don't, I know that there's always going to be somebody that's going to know information faster than I will.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to always
Uh-huh.
sell before I get a chance to.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm not, I might, and then thanks to my brother-in-law, he's like, uh, Kadena, he keeps talking about KDA, KDA,
Mm-hmm.
Kadena, KDA. And I'm like,
What
say
is it?
what? Okay. And then he's telling me, just get it, just get it. And he personally is hoping for the price to drop because he's wanting to buy,
Yeah,
a whole
me
bunch. So,
too.
he's like, so if it drops to 80 cents, I'm back at the truck up. So
Uh-huh.
he's but I was like, well, hey, I think he might be right. The more I read, and then I watched your YouTube videos,
Awesome.
watched, yeah, and I watched a few others,
Mm.
Brian, and I was like, I think he's onto something here. I think that there's something here. I think he might be right. Of course, not financial advice, but
As always.
but I'm
But
like,
buy some Kadena.
I think, I think there might be something here.
Uh-huh.
And then I even talked to my dad into buying a little bit. I think he has like 300 coins worth. I
Awesome.
said, well, just think of it this way: if it goes up to $100 a coin, you got enough to
Yeah,
pay off your
that's
credit
what I
card.
tell him too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got enough to pay off something, you
Uh-huh.
know. But I said it's worth the gamble. And I think he bought it when it was like $1. When it had dropped before last time he
Mm.
had bought some. So his has been up and down, but I just said, just hold it, just wait. He wants to buy some of these NFTs too, but unfortunately his Kadena's on crypto.com, and for whatever reason they still don't have crypto withdrawals for Kadena. So I was like, Yeah, it's too overly complicated.
Yep,
Don't
yep.
worry about it.
So this is why I think Coin Metro is one of the best exchanges, which
Yeah.
normally doesn't let this happen, because this is, for example, very frustrating if you want to get your KDA out or something and they just freeze it, don't let you.
I've tried yeah, well, crypto.com, they let you buy it, but they do not let you withdraw it. Period.
So what do you
Like
do
they
with it?
won't let you withdraw it. I mean, unless something's changed in the last few weeks, you cannot withdraw it to a K wallet at all.
Hmm.
So the only way you can get KDA back is you have to convert it into Bitcoin and then send your Bitcoin over to a separate exchange. I use OKCoin because they're the only ones that with the KYC, I tried to get Binance, but for some reason, Binance.us, they were being real weird about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was trying to get, of course, when I go back overseas, it might be a little easier because I'm then not in the US anymore, but they were just being super weird about it. And like I sent them everything.
Uh-huh.
I sent them every document that they possibly could want. And they're like, we still need this. And I'm like, they have they even had my rental agreement. They got everything,
Holy
and
shit.
it still wasn't good enough. But
Uh-huh.
but with OKCoin, they work for me. So it works
Mm-hmm.
for me. So that's what I've been using. So like when I get Ethereum, what's nice is I just send it over to OKCoin, convert it on OKCoin, send it
Yep.
over to my X wallet, and that's what I've been using. And there was a couple of times, a couple of months back, when, of course, every exchange was having that issue with
Mm-hmm.
withdrawals, but including them. But as of right now, I'm using them. So I was trying to get Coin Metro as well, but because I'm kind of a nomad at this moment in time with moving around here and there and having different IDs that don't match where I'm at
Uh-huh.
because I'm moving
Yeah,
around so much. It's like whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, no. But I think that there is something going on here. I think that there is some potential. Um, I'm hoping for end of 2024. Of course, it would be nice if it shows up sooner, but I'm thinking just based on the way the market usually goes, I would say uh, a lot will depend on, of course, politics and the way things go with that in that area.
Mm.
Waiting for, of course, there might be some other movement after the midterm elections in the US. And then, of course, the next presidential is 2024. Everything changes after an election. Everything changes except for people's, real lives, because politicians never really change anything anyway,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
except
yeah.
find new ways to screw things up.
Uh-huh.
but but in the market there are usually that's the time frame to watch, so I'm kind of figuring maybe end of 2024, 2025, maybe we might see a turnaround, but that would be my best guess. But until then, if we can build, if we can just have some fun with it, um, if I can accumulate as much as I can, I would rather make KDA through selling NFTs than buying,
Yeah, me too. That
because I would
definitely.
rather I would rather,
It's
of
much
course,
more fun.
I've still, yeah, it's so complicated, and then I think somebody had told me that it might be easier when it comes to tax season to be able to declare it as income rather than
Hmm.
basically converting it, because they're trying to change, there's some of the tax stuff is changing. So I don't know about all that. I'll be finding out for the first time next year what all that's going to include, because I'm trying to keep a record of everything, make
Uh,
sure everything's set up, because I don't want to. I just trying to make sure get everything sorted out. But you know, I'm thinking it's going to be easier for me if I can make Kadena through just selling stuff, and hopefully that will end well. So 1,500 NFTs launching hopefully within the next 48 hours or so. As soon as the next project launches, we're up next. Still kind of waiting on word, like I said, with the metadata, but if all goes well, 5 KDA each. If I know that you got yourself a whitelist and a free mint,
Yes, sir.
have your wallet address. I will be. You will be one of the ones receiving 5 Kadena today on chain 8.
Let's go.
So there
Very
you
excited.
go. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing everybody. There, as far as I know, there isn't a limit on the number you can mint. So yeah, somebody come in and buy all 1,500. But but if you however many you get, just I do want to say though, if you do mint a Kawaii K-9, I can't say too much because then I'll have to hold myself to it because I do try to keep my word about everything. But I will say we're hoping that if you mint and hold a Kawaii K-9, you will earn not only whitelist, but a free mint from the
Okay.
Pitbull Bushido. So essentially, buying a Kawaii K-9 earns you a free NFT from the Pitbull Bushido collection. Now, that collection is going to be interesting. We're trying to figure that out right now, how that will work. But if we can do it the way we're wanting to do it, then yeah, we should be able to make that happen. But there again, in case anybody's listening to this, don't take that as the full end of the story. That might change.
Clip
But
it, post it on Twitter.
we're
And
hoping,
then...
we're hoping that if you mint a Kawaii K-9, I know that'll get you a discount. I'm just also hoping that possibly that'll get you at least one free mint from Pitbull Bushido, because that collection, it's because there's only 47 characters. We're trying to think of a way to do it like crypto.com, where you can, I don't know if you've ever gone to their NFT site, but
Nope.
you can mint an NFT that's like one of 1,000, whatever. And that way, like 1,000 people can have the same.
Yeah.
NFT.
Yep.
Okay. We're hoping that that would be a potential thing with Minted in the future, where you can have multiples of each, because then we'd have all 47 characters, and then
have
have multiples of each, and then depending on if we wanted to make it fun but also confusing, we would do the blind mint, and then people could trade with each other like trading cards to finish their set. Or if we wanted to do it more straightforward, it could just be visible. You could see each one, and then you could just buy each one. And depending on how many tiers you get certain unlocks. That's what we're working on. But yeah, so there is some potential there for future benefits with the Kawaii K-9s. Like I said, it is, I guess some people, the haters would say it's a PFP project, which yeah, kind of, but we don't plan on disappearing. If we do disappear, it's because like we literally died, because otherwise we're planning on being here forever. But we're planning on staying around and doing what we can to just have some fun with it.
Awesome.
No sense in being around without having fun.
Yep, that's how it is. Love it. And yeah, I'm excited for the mint. Mint should be soon. 1,500 K-9s coming to Kadena soon.
I had originally, this is going to sound bad, but I was naming the collection, and it originally had been the Kawaii K-9s of Kadena. And then I realized that acronym doesn't work. Like, yeah, yeah, that doesn't work. It literally didn't dawn on me until I was like, oh, I can't use that acronym. No, sorry. That's bad. So it's just Kawaii K-9s.
Good to know. Awesome.
Yeah. So gotta be careful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Really, I really don't. It's like I really don't want to offend anybody. I really don't want to. I really don't want to cut. I really do not want to do anything that makes anybody mad at me. We are literally just here to have a good time and have some fun with the project, and we hope everybody loves them. There are some special traits. I know we're running out of time, but there are some special traits. We have a few. We have a few traits in there that are quite rare.
Mm.
And so if you do get one with certain things, we're going to try to see if we can integrate with the rarities in. We have a partnership that we just started with. Not sure how they pronounce their name.
Me too. Me too.
Katie
Katie
Rare,
Rare.
Katie Rare,
Yeah,
Katie Rare,
something like that.
But we're trying to see if we can integrate with them as well in
Mm.
the future to make it easier for you to see what you got and what the rarity would be. But if when you check your data, if you see it's called one of the traits is a 1 of 1,
Mm.
that's a 1 of 1. So that should help it a little bit.
Awesome. I see we've got like 1 minute left, so I'd say we'll cut this little AMA off here. It's
All right.
been pretty long. I would yeah, love to do a space or something, maybe at the mint, before the mint, after the mint, whenever you want.
All right.
I will be there. So thanks for joining, thanks for coming by, and I think we'll hear from you again definitely after the mint. So yeah, thanks
Well,
for
thanks,
joining.
Noah. I appreciate that. Sorry, I know it went a little long, but people can listen to. Hey, if you could listen to Joe Rogan for like 8 hours, you should be able to listen to us for an hour.
Definitely, we're talking about Kadena here. I mean, it's the best technology in the world. So